Alright guys, I just want to throw a video out here. I have another video out on getting this here fuel line off when you change out your spider, your fuel injection spider system on one of these 4.3 liter V6 motors. Another problem that I ran into that you might want to be cautious on is when I pulled this here, this vacuum line here for the brake booster, which goes in right here like that, guys. When I pulled that up out of the intake, I was watching some other videos. The guy pulled this whole thing up out of here. Well, the problem that I had was this here. When I pulled that up out of there, what it did is it stretched this here, this rubber grommet. It stretched it out, and I had to hunt all over the place. I went to a whole bunch of auto parts stores, and nobody could seem to match one of these rubber grommets up because of the thickness of it. It's pretty thick. I mean, they had some that were close, but they wasn't exact right size. It was a lot thinner, and they didn't fit on there quite right. So I guess when and GM sells this, in order to get that grommet there, you have to buy this whole piece here, and it's only like $10. But if you're got one of these tore down and you want to, trying to get it done in one day or whatever, and then you take this up out of here and you mess that grommet up, guys, then you're gonna have to order a new piece, or you're gonna have to go to a junkyard. I ended up getting one out of a junkyard, and that was on my second attempt of taking one out. I had another one. I had two vehicles at the junkyard. On the first one I pulled out, it did the same thing. I ended up ruining that. This grommet here, it stretched out too much, so it wouldn't fit back on there right. So on my second attempt at the junkyard, another vehicle, I was able to get this up out of there without stretching that, because you can see it fits a lot tighter. That O-ring there fits a whole lot tighter than either one of these. Like I said, on that first one I tried at the junkyard, I ended up messing that one up too, I guess, from pulling it up out of there. So my advice would be, instead of pulling this whole unit off, just take it off here at the hose, guys, and leave that stuck in your plastic plenum there on your. So this way you don't damage that, because otherwise you damage that, you're going to have to, and you're trying to get this done in one day or whatever, and you don't have one of these extra parts, and you're going to be pretty much out of luck until you get one of them ordered, or if you're lucky to have a junkyard around that's got some of them 4.3s in the junkyard, maybe you could possibly do like I did. And also too, guys, when you tear one of these apart, you take that gas line off there. Right here, this gas line's got to come off in order to get this plenum up out of here. I found anyways, because I couldn't get it up out of there without taking this fuel line off. I got another video on that, guys, on how to get this fuel line out of the way. Get it off and get it out of the way. So if you want to check that other video out on getting that fuel line out of the way. But anyways, go ahead and get you some of these ordered up too before you tear that apart, because you're probably going to end up damaging them. There's two O-rings back there on the back side of that bracket where it fits into the fuel line, where the nut screw on the fuel line. There's going to be they're two different sizes too, guys. One's a little bigger than the other one. So I ended up getting an extra set of these at Napa. I did have an extra set of these sitting around here at home because when I did my wife's 99, I ended up messing those little O-rings up, so I went ahead and bought another extra set just to have it in case I had to tear this one down, which I did eventually. So I went ahead and picked up another set just in case you ever need those. They're what they're called is right there, guys. 5/16. Get the camera to focus in there on it. 5/16 and 3/8 inch O-rings for the steel fuel line. So you know, if you're trying to, you got your fuel injection system, your spider already ordered, and you got your gasket set. There's two other problems that you might run into on one of these, just like I did, and that was getting that fuel line off. And if I wouldn't have had an extra set of these O-rings here, I'd have been out of luck. Would have had to go to the auto parts. Luckily, the auto parts stores carry these, but that other piece here, there was no auto parts store nowhere. I mean, I went to all of them. You know, AutoZone, Advance Auto, Napa, Auto Value. I went and some hardware stores tried to match that O-ring up. Not even close. So, I mean, that's another part. Like I said, if you take it off here, you'll be all right. You'll be fine. You won't have to worry about damaging that rubber when you pull it up out of that. Goes in right there, guys. On that. Goes in right there. And when you pull that up out there, like I was watching one video, guy took this whole piece off. Well, he didn't mention anything about if that got damaged. You're going to be out of luck. I mean, if you're trying to do this in one day like I was, luckily I'm doing it on a weekend, so I had 2 days to mess with it. Otherwise, you're going to be out of luck on that if you mess up that rubber piece, because it's not going to seal right, and then it's not going to run right. So you definitely want to make sure you either take the hose off right here and just leave that plastic housing in there, then you won't have no problem. Otherwise, if you take this whole thing out and you mess up that rubber grommet, you're going to be, you know, looking to have to order that piece, or like I said, unless you got a junkyard close, and if you're lucky enough to get one up out of there without damaging the rubber, without stretching it out, then you'll be fine. But like I said, it took me 2 attempts on 2 different vehicles out there at the junkyard to get this thing off of there without damage, without stretching that. I don't know why it's stretching out, but they stretch out when you pull them out. When you pull them up out of that plastic plenum, for some reason they're stretching out. So just a heads up on that. Anybody out there doing one of these 4.3s, changing out their spider fuel injection system. You know, there's some videos out there on showing you how to do it, but they're not, you know, they're not showing you some of the problems that can occur when you're doing this job. So I thought I'd throw this video out there, maybe help somebody out. Just give you a heads up on what kind of problems you can run into on changing one of these out. Because that's exactly what happened to me on this piece right here, and I ended up spending all day yesterday running around trying to find one of these, and I couldn't even get it at the Chevy dealer because Chevy dealers were closed. All of them around my area are closed on Saturday. So I got lucky to get to a junkyard before they closed. And I was lucky enough, there was some s-10 sitting out there in the junkyard that had some of these on it. And like I said, make sure you get this here fuel line, your O-rings for your fuel lines, because you're probably going to end up damaging, or if you do damage them, at least you got them, you know. Otherwise, you're going to have to run to the parts store and get them too. So, they say when you take that fuel line off anyways, you're supposed to replace these O-rings. You know, you're supposed to put new O-rings on it anyways, but if you're lucky enough where you don't damage them or they don't look too bad, then you might be all right to, you know, use the old ones that are still on there. But I do know that they recommend to change those out whenever you pull that fuel line off right there, where I was showing you. And like I said, I got another video out there, guys, on how to get that fuel line off of there. So if you're having some issues there on getting that fuel line off, check out that other video I got on that. So that'll wrap this video up, guys. Just thought I'd throw that out there in case somebody else is having some issues and they're trying to get this job done in one day. There's a few issues on some stuff that you probably want to get ahead of time when you change one of those out, just in case you have some problems and you're in a hurry to get this done. That way you got everything you need to get the vehicle back together and up and running. So, all right, guys, that'll do it for this video.